everyone. Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Connecting Greeks podcast. I am very happy to be here with two pretty amazing guys. Let's go with the lesser of the two amazing. Fotistemos.
Ari, thank you so much, but you forgot to announce your name.
Oh, I'm Ari. Thank you. And the most amazing of all, Angelo Tsarouchas in the house. What's up, Angelo?
Hey, Ari. Hey, Foti. How's it going, guys?
How are you?
I'm good.
Where are you? What parts?
I'm in LA right now. I'm working a 4-day cruise
Oh, cool.
to Mexico and then coming back with tus metis menus. So it's gonna be
Wait a minute,
the
Angelo.
booze cruise. Is right.
Make sure that
Christina.
cruise line doesn't hit any bridges, please.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
no kidding.
Please.
Don't
I was
even
on
say that.
Hey, I was on that ship 5 days before it left Baltimore. I was on the Vision when that thing hit. 5 days before I was coming out of that port.
Oh,
Baltimore, right?
Baltimore.
That's crazy.
But anyway,
You know why? Because
I'm happy about our guest today, guys. Because, okay, first of all, for people watching this podcast, don't go to her site because even if you're not hungry, you're gonna get hungry. And
Thank you.
I say that backhanded compliment because I look at stuff like spicy feta chicken sliders. I look at Garides tacos. I'm looking at,
Ooh.
I mean, this girl whips up tiro kafteri, tzatziki. I got mesmerized. I went down a rabbit hole. Contact her. And it's not just the recipes. I like the way you present everything, and there's an easiness about the way you explain how to make recipes because for Greeks it's very difficult, especially if you're with family members. They're going to scream at you how to do stuff. Be myself, but I want to welcome from Dimitra's Dishes, Dimitra. Dimitra's Dishes, Dimitra. Welcome to the Connecting Greeks podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for that warm intro. That's so sweet of you.
It's
he
true.
legit got me hungry just listing a few of those things.
And today I went on today and I'm going, what the spicy feta chicken sliders.
Oh man.
So it's not that Dimitra, I'm gonna go right into it because we're gonna get to know more. But let me ask you, because you're innovative in how you do things, and that's I see you separate yourself. There's a lot of people, food bloggers, food recipes. What I like about you, it seems to me that you're taking the Greek element, but you're mixing in your everyday life, and you're influenced by maybe when you go out or places like there's a lot of you're in Houston, which means there's a lot of Mexican influence.
Sure is,
which
yeah.
I think's great. And I did this. I got to tell you guys, I did a video. Shits and giggles. I was at Taco Bell and I said they're going to have the Cinco de Mayo Christos Anesti burrito, which could be carnitas, tzatziki, spinach, and feta. It was a joke because Greek Easter, as you know, falls on Cinco de Mayo, and people thought it was real. And then I got a message, Dimitra, from Taco Bell going, "Is this a real thing or is it a regional thing?" People, when I thought about it, I said, this is probably something that you would come up with. I did it as a joke. But people don't have a sense of humor. They go, tinafto. But then I thought about it. Carnitas, feta, spinach, and a little bit of tzatziki.
That sounds delicious.
what else
would you add to that, Dimitra? If you were to spice it up a bit, what else would you add to that?
And the tiro kafteri sounds really good. I started adding that to everything and good stuff. It goes really good with a little sweetness, balsamic. Magnifica dactylasu.
Oh, and
awesome.
what's carnitas?
It's like it's meat.
Chopped,
So it's
like shredded meat, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
shredded meat, beef. You can do
Foti just arrived in this country, so he doesn't really know much. Who doesn't know what carnitas is?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, so carnitas is shredded beef or pork. You can do
Yeah.
either or. But imagine that now as the burrito with the kick, the tiro kafteri.
We can call it a pita while we're at it.
We call it a pita.
Yeah.
So I said,
Well, I mean,
burrito, because-
Dimitra's the expert, so let her run with that.
That sounds good, actually.
Just,
What do you think?
Angela, you
but Ari-
patent it before she makes millions without you.
Ari, you know what I'm saying? If you keep the burrito part, the tortilla, because you got to keep the Mexican part of it. You put you make. I think Mexican and Greek food goes good together. I was in Puerto Vallarta, Dimitra, and there's a place called Opa. The guy's Greek, and he has a Greek restaurant in Puerto Vallarta, and he fuses it. He made stuffed chicken breast with feta, with spinach, and he put jalapenos in it.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well,
so tell us, where
yeah.
are you influenced from? Like, where's your inspiration come from on this?
I love to eat. I cook what I love. I mean, honestly, I really love good food. I usually cook at home because I just love it. I feel like, growing up in a Greek family, you know how it is. We went back to Greece and everything was celebrated with a big trapezi, food on the table, everybody getting together. It just brings back such good memories for me. So since I was little, I had a love for cooking, a love for food. So, and then when I go places, I just get more ideas. I'm like, oh, I had this. Maybe I could turn it into that. And I do my own thing.
So Dimitra, Angela had mentioned Houston. Is that your roots? Is that where you grew up?
No, I grew up in Astoria, New York. I was born in New York and raised
Oh,
there.
how'd you go from New York to Houston?
It's a long story, but I've been here for a long time and it's home. I actually like it now.
Okay. Was it a crazy culture like shock when you got down there?
It was in the beginning and now it's much bigger, right? It's so much more populated. Everybody's coming down, especially after COVID lockdowns and everything. People made their way down here. But old Astoria, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
If anyone's been there, yeah.
Absolutely.
How's the weather in Houston right now?
Right now it's nice. It's about to get triple-digit hot.
I was gonna say where I am in DC, it was like 90 today, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's probably in the 80s today here. It gets
Oh, it's not
humid
bad.
and
Nice.
Is that
it's
why
not
Ari
bad now,
is
yeah.
sweating?
Yeah, that's why.
It's sweating. Is it 90 in DC?
Yeah, man.
In LA. It's like 68.
Really? What the hell's going on here?
Climate change.
And it's except by that, it's not bad today, but
So
like,
I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm just gonna say, like, I just kind of want to get like, because you have a pretty good following. I was looking at your stuff earlier. Like, is that just you doing what you love and like people follow, or were you in this industry? Like, give us a little
I was
background.
never in this industry. We had a restaurant for 10 years and we shut it down about 5 years ago. And actually my son, he was on YouTube all the time. He's like, Mom, you have to start a YouTube channel. And if you go back to one of my most popular videos, it's like the first lamb shank. I was sick. He recorded it. He cut my head off. It's a terrible video, but I don't know if people watch it. And I just started off because I started doing cooking classes back then for the customers. And I was like, this is a good way where they can go back to the videos and in case they forgot something. I would give them printouts of the recipes. And I thought, oh, let me just do this for fun. And it just took off.
I love to hear that something that's like a passion, your hobby or whatever, a passion project can become something, big.
Yeah, it took a long time. I mean, a lot of times you see some of these success stories and, once the time passes, it feels like it happened quickly, but it took a few years. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think as like an internet person, I really believe that everything worthwhile is like organically grown and it takes time. Like Angelo, I'm sure you understand, like you have to get out there, you have to do your thing, you have to like constantly promote, and it builds, but nothing is overnight. And if it is, I don't even know how real that is, but
I don't know either.
You get lucky. You see, the thing, guys, what I loved about your videos, it's the way you explain it, and it's like it's easy to follow, and it's like as you're explaining it, I'm getting hungry, and I go every time I watch this woman, I'm getting freaking hungry, and I told the guys we got to bring her on the show because I'm watching stuff, and I go home and say to my wife, "Hey, I want this." She goes, "What?" I go, where'd you get this idea from? I go, I got from Dimitra's Dishes.
Oh,
And
thank you.
we play with some of it. And it's really good. But I love like Tito Cafteri, and like I love that kind of food. To me, if there's two foods I love, it's Mexican and Greek and Chinese. So I know in Vancouver there was a guy, Dimitra. He was Chinese. His wife was Greek, and they had a Chinese Greek restaurant.
Wow, that's interesting.
Spanakopita, egg rolls.
Oh wow,
no, this stuff was off the. I don't even know if it's still there or not. But
Boys,
I think now Greek food. Can we agree? Greek food now is starting to do a fusion.
Well, Angela, I was just going to mention to us collectively that where Greek cuisine has gone over the last. If you look at the last couple years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, if you've seen the progression of our cuisine, and I'll say ours is Greek cuisine, the old school mom and pop joints who actually were, built on the backs of all of our parents' generation, which were these restaurants that were 24 operations, 7 days a week, cooking a combination of Greek specialties and everything else to bring people through the doors. And then as that kind of like faded away, then the next generation kind of steps up and they start introducing, a combination of like street food or bringing back some of the classics or really representing some of the cuisine from regional parts of Greece that we've never seen before. And collectively, there's like this huge explosion of Greek cuisine on all different levels. And it's so exciting for us I'll speak for myself as a Greek. I'm so proud to see what's out there, because if you touch on any market across the US, and I'm sure probably Canada, you see all these different Greek concepts.
But Foti, what it is like everything you said is right, but Dimitra is a perfect example of what you can do with that passion and the current technologies that are available. I mean, she has a huge following on Facebook, Instagram, and all these things. Yeah. Imagine our parents working in the restaurant, like trying to get an audience of like 75,000 people. Like,
and back then
never happened. And that's why, Dimitra, what you're doing is so like beautiful for us. I mean, our podcast is connecting Greeks. We want Greeks to connect, and we want to promote Hellenism, and that's what you're doing through food, which is like the number one thing that Greeks
totally agree.
You're making Greek food cool again.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm actually doing it because a lot of times I love to cook, like I said. And when I went to like my tias and cousins, or even mostly the older generation, right, in Greece, have you guys tried to get a recipe from anyone?
Doesn't work.
Flitzani, but like what size flitzani? Ena potiri neru, like of this. Or they'll be like, until it's this consistency. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So I try to like get that out there so people can make these recipes. Metomati, right?
It's funny you say that, Dimitra, because my friend said her mom purposely won't give her the actual recipe.
Yes.
Oh,
they won't do
bad.
it because they said he's a tocanis. I'm like, hold on, what did you show her? Yes. They have this ownership bullshit.
Yes.
I think it's called. I think
listen will agree.
I think it's called. Guys, I think that's called Greek pettiness.
So basically, there's two versions of every recipe. There's one that's yours privately, and then for everybody else.
Yeah, so my recipe, however I make it, every single ingredient is on there because I want it. First of all, ingredients are so expensive, right? So I would hate it if somebody went and bought all of it and then I decided to leave something out and then their recipe messes up. So I like to share.
Well, the fact that you have the following that you have is a testament to you actually doing a good job, because honestly, if all jokes aside, a lot of this stuff is funny, but if you legitimately weren't doing a good job, you no way could have amassed the audience that you have. So that is all we need to know that you're doing a great job in what you're, in.
Oh, thank you. It makes my heart really happy whenever somebody makes the recipe and they send me a message or an email. I'm like, okay, good. Because writing a recipe is easy, but speaking it to a camera, whoever's out there who tries to speak to a camera, it's like, different thing, right? Like, oh, what's this? A kutali? How do you say that in English again? Like your brain freezes.
Yeah, because you got the Greek English thing.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what was it? What was this word again? Yeah.
But Dimitra, Aryan Forte made a good point that the Greek food's getting cool again. And I think a big controversy was when Gordon Ramsay said he thought Greek cuisine was better than Italian.
I shared that. I saw it.
People got literally upset, and I have people going, "Well, whatever." I go, I would argue to say that Italian food is probably the most popular food on the planet because wherever you go, you'll find Italian. Right? Not, but the Greeks. But I think what Ramsay was saying, Gordon Ramsay, the complexity of Greek cuisine. Because you put macaroni, salsa. Whatever. I'm not saying that the Italians, but you look at the Greek dishes, like the ones you make. The moussaka, the pasticcio, briam, all these. There's a little more thought into it. Cleftico, all that kind of stuff. That Italian. Look, don't get me wrong. I love Italian food.
I love Italian food too.
Oh, everybody loves Italian food. You can't go wrong. But let me ask Dimitra something. I know nothing about food. I know nothing about food outside of eating it. So this is just my 2 cents. But it seems to me that Italian is kind of like baseline. Like this is like, if you want to be safe, if you want to go have a good meal, Italian's the safe bet, simple and safe. Where Greek is a little bit more like Italian, you could be like, Italian's okay, or I love Italian. But Greek is more like you either really love it or you're like, I don't know about Greek because of everything. And especially what Angela said, there's a little more complication to it. I feel like if like my wife wants to make a meal and she wants to go fast and easy, it's like something Italian. Yeah, but when it's something Greek, she's like hardcore and there's stuff everywhere and blah, blah, blah. I mean, is that something you would say?
So as far as like Americans relate to the food, because we had a restaurant, honestly, our restaurant didn't even start off as a restaurant. My dream was to have like a bakery where I bring desserts. I love making desserts. And then I didn't know how much people love Greek culture, Greek food. So we started making it, and it is more complex, I feel like. And it's also a little bit tricky because not everyone loves feta. I mean, once they start, of course they love it, but it's a different flavor, right? And then we have a lot of lamb, which can be a little gamey sometimes if you don't cook it right. So maybe that's why it's not as safe as something like a fettuccine alfredo or a shrimp scampi, which everyone loves, right?
First of all, if you don't like feta, you should be taken out back and shot. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay,
I know there are some people out there who don't eat feta or chocolate, and not me.
I'll tell you something very, very quickly. My wife is Greek as Greek can be, and if it's sheep or goat feta, she won't touch it. And
that's
I'm like,
the best
that's
one.
the best feta.
It's so
even I'll
creamy.
eat that, and I don't eat it on a knee. But it's interesting because when you look at Greek macaroni, the real ones, the big one with the kokinisto beef,
so good,
and the mitzitra, and there's another ingredient. And I've had this argument even with the chefs or in the chef. Greeks, and I see from my mom, they cook with cinnamon.
Oh yes, a little bit is delicious.
A little bit, and people go, "What's that taste?" Because you can in the bechamel. If you notice a lot of Greek food, it's cinnamon, but they don't kill it enough. Etching like say sineki. Yeah. The guy goes, "No, it's impossible. They don't." I said, "Yes, they do. They put the cinnamon in. It gives it
an aroma." It's so good, yeah.
And a taste. But right now, you know what I'm craving? My mom would make the macaroni, the big ones, with the kokinisto, the beef, and real mitzitra from the Choryo.
Delicious.
Seriously, think about it. Think about regular. Yeah, and think about regular Americans having mitzitra. You're going to get 2 camps. Like, this is amazing. This is the best. And another camp that's like, oh God, that's too strong. I can't do that.
No, you're right, but you know,
and that's what I feel like Greek food is for a lot of people. It's like Italian's very like baseline. It like a little bit down, a little bit up, but it's like everybody's comfortable with it.
I
It's
bet
the
you
sauce.
if you blind tasted these people and not tell them that it was Greek, but just presented to them and have them eat it, I bet you there'd be a different perception.
That could be the next reality show.
Mhm.
But you see, the thing is Italian food. One thing I learned about Italians is the sauce.
Mm.
All about the sauce because it's all pretty much pasta based. And they
Mhm.
do ossobuco and all that stuff, and they do all these other kind of dishes. But with the Greek dishes, you get when you're eating it. Like I had a friend of mine. We went to Kokari, which is a restaurant in San Francisco. It's rated one of the best Greek restaurants in USA.
Mhm.
And I was with a friend of mine there, and he ate. He goes, "There's something." He's a foodie, and he's like, he does a blog. He goes, "There, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. There's something in this. I don't know what it is." And then when I told him, oh, he goes, "That's what makes the Greek cuisine." And I think the other thing about it, and you cover this, Dimitra, is the vegetarian aspect. If you're actually a vegetarian, there's so many good dishes
Mhm.
Oh yeah, you
from
can eat
Greek
really well.
that accommodates them also.
Mhm. Yeah,
You
there's
know,
the pitas, and then just like you said, the briam, the
Mhm.
stuffed peppers. There's just so much. Sometimes people
Torta.
tell me why don't you add more vegetarian dishes? I was like, where have you been? There's just like everywhere.
There's a whole bunch of them. I've seen them.
And then the horta that we eat, those are so good.
Oh yeah.
That's good, especially when they put it lemon. Because you think of Greek cuisine: lemon, oil,
Olive oil, garlic,
oregano,
yeah, salt.
I got a
garlic,
question for
salt.
Dimitra. Being
Mhm.
in Houston, how is it how accessible are Greek ingredients, being that you're in Texas?
Everything is pretty accessible except for good takoyaki and like the good seafood other than shrimp. Like the squid and stuff is really hard to find.
Okay.
Calamaraki you could find because all the restaurants
So like
have it
olive
fried.
oil, cheese, olives, all
Oh
that stuff.
yeah,
Easy.
all of that you can find. You can find the good cheeses now too. The feta is everywhere. Even Costco has sheep's milk now.
Costco has dodonis now.
Yeah.
Our Costco doesn't have the donis, but it has a brand that's pretty good.
In Montreal, they have dodonis. I was with my
That
mom,
that's my favorite. Yeah.
and dodoni. Now they have dodonis at
And
Costco.
Wow,
So
you
you
guys
can
are
buy a
lucky.
hot air balloon, a bottle of scotch, and Dodoni's feta. Because every time I go to Costco, I'm buying shit I don't need. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
look.
there every week.
We're
I
gonna
was
see
just there
Angela
today.
flying out of Costco on a balloon.
that's awesome. And then speaking of Greek cuisine, we should add this too, boys, is that and I heard recently that there's a couple of great distributors in Texas that are bringing Greek wine. So Greek wine is becoming more and more accessible in Texas too.
We have pretty much everything. Texas has grown, so they accommodated everything. Yeah.
Houston's like the fourth largest American city.
It's huge. Yeah.
It's
Huge.
huge. You got New York, LA, Chicago, Houston.
Yeah, it's huge. And
In
I feel like
America, it's a big
everyone is
city.
moving here. Yeah.
Well,
Big city.
Mhm.
Lots of good ideas. So I gotta ask you, Dimitra, because when I'm looking at your page, you mix it up nice. I love your dishes. I love you.
Thank
You
you.
stuff. You put vegetarian. You put the stuff. Has it ever happened to you where you're maybe you're invited as a guest to someone's home,
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
Thea or somebody, or you go to a restaurant with your family, like a Mexican restaurant, and you say, "Hey, maybe I can take part of this." I see it because I can see the fusion, a bit of the fusion when you're putting things together. Like I noticed with the shrimps, and I
Mhm.
noticed with the Mexican rice and the other, because I love it. I love that stuff. Do you
Yeah,
find
so
that?
I get a lot of inspiration from restaurants. I mean, the sliders came about because I had them at a party. I had buffalo chicken sliders. And I think I had tiro cafteria as something that I was making for an upcoming recipe. And I was like, tiro cafteria with chicken. That sounds good as a slider. So that's how that was born. I mean, I think in food. I go to sleep and I think of food. You guys, I think of
That's the
recipes.
best. That's the best thing you can do.
Nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
But Dimitra, I don't want to put you on the spot because you're being recorded, and lots of people are going to see this. So I don't want you to be uncomfortable. But Angelo promised us that you're going to send us those sliders after the
Why she
show's
found
over.
us sliders?
how?
When are you
How's
guys
that
coming to
possible?
Houston?
If we go to Houston, she'll make them.
You got to come to Houston.
Oh my God, those sound
Well,
so
I'm
good.
doing a show. I'm doing a show in October in Dallas, and I'm hoping we're going to get one in Houston right after. So I've been there. It'll be good. But it's funny because Tex-Mex is one of my favorite cuisines. I love Tex-Mex. I love barbecue. I mean, if you want best barbecue, I think in the world, Texas.
Yeah, we got good barbecue here.
I mean, Austin, open up us, man.
Yeah, it's good.
In my opinion, best barbecue in the world, Texas.
What about Greek barbecue?
Greek barbecue is good. You know, I was in Greece the last time, and my dad took me to one of his favorite tavernas. It's in Kanya. Have you guys been to Crete?
My mom is from Kanya.
Yeah, I'm from Kanya. My dad is from Kanya. My mom is from Spakia.
My cousin.
So,
okay, hold on. Is your dad named Manoli?
My dad is Sifi. Yosif.
My grandfather's Manoli.
Manoli.
My grandfather's Manoli from Kanya.
So if you're ever in Kanya, you go to this barbecue spot called Tokaduni, I think it's called. And I'm telling you that their barbecue liver tastes like filet mignon.
What?
I've never in my life had liver that good. Yeah.
Next level. Next
Delicious.
level.
Yeah. And they have like staka and like just the freshest everything.
Wow.
Yeah. I think the freshness of the food there, they don't even need to season it. Honestly, it's so good.
There's a freshness, but there's also like you're in Kanya. You're in
too.
A beautiful atmosphere. I mean, you could serve me, I don't want to say it, but I'll be like, yeah, this is pretty good because like I'm in it. But the fact that the food is so good, truthfully good, and you could sit in these environments, like what else is better? There's nothing better.
It is really relaxing.
I think to your testament, I've been following the fact that Cretan cuisine is like next level, where the interpretation of dishes are now being presented like in these like really cool spots in Athens, Greece, are featuring like really great Cretan cuisine. So the Cretans, for some reason, Ari, are really like producing, stuff that we've never had before. And if you actually present it, that's like, wow, like I didn't know that Greek cuisine can go here.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Crete and Cyprus they got great psistaries in Cyprus. I mean,
I've heard about that.
That's what I'm saying. But see, you're part of the movement, I think, now, Dimitra, because it's evolved. Like what you said earlier, it's evolving. And more people are aware of it. And I think more people now want to eat better. And when you look at one of the 5 blue zones in the world, Ikaria is one of them. And what they call organic diet in America, it's Tuesday in Chania. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the yaurti, which is look, we're going to be arrogant for a second here. When it comes to yogurt, when it comes to Elias,
olive oil,
cheese and stuff. Seriously, who's better than us?
No, you can't find those cheeses. You just can't. Next level.
Next level. Gaviera, feta,
Mizitra.
Yes.
Sino Mizitra. There's 2 kinds. Yeah, it's delicious.
God.
The French ones are good too. I'm not saying blue cheese, but honestly, they're good. The other ones are good. We rock it, and I mean, and then now the world, and I think the Greeks have woken up to the fact that they're branding Greece, which they didn't do before, and they're realizing now that people want this; they'll pay for it.
That you just made a very good point, Angelo. I'm gonna go back to what I was saying about Italian food versus Greek food. I think when all is said and done, I think the Italians just took more initiative to market themselves because Italians are known for their food. They're known for their wine. But you know what? I'll put Greek food and Greek wine against it any day of the week. And I'm sorry, it's not going to be an easy decision at the end of the day. But why is Italian so much more popular? Because I think they just had a longer run of better marketing to get themselves on a worldwide platform.
If you see
for sure, yeah. If you look at like Old Food Network, right, the original shows, I can't remember a Greek on there. There were a few Italians, so you're right about the marketing for sure.
I totally believe that.
There's some
Mhm.
great chefs in Canada. We've had on the show Christine Cushing, who's a
Oh
great
yeah, I
chef.
love her.
So she's good for Confucius was a foodie, one of the top Greek chefs in the world.
Mhm.
Peter Menaki, who does Kalo
Calofagas. I love him
He's
too.
another
Yeah.
good buddy of mine. And you know, and you, I'm putting you in there now because you're going in there with this category of people. And the thing is that Ari makes a good point on top of what we're saying. The Italians, you ever go to an Italian deli? You give you a mortadella, whatever. They put it with an olive and a pickle, $20. They package it. And now the Greeks see that. There's a great movie you got to watch. When tomatoes met. It's about this village in Greece.
I'll look it up.
Look at it's I saw the documentary. It's a famous composer. I want to say
When
German.
an egg meets a tomato?
No. Tomato Wagner.
When tomatoes met Wagner?
Wagner. When tomatoes met Wagner. So there's a place in Greece after the subprime crisis. The guys would go to the fields, Dimitra, and play Wagner.
What's Wagner? I've never heard that before.
It's classical.
Classical music, Wagner. And the domates, they're packaging them. And these domates, no one has them in the world. You got to watch the documentary.
Oh, this looks really good.
And the village was going under. And they brought in a guy from England to package. And they put the labels on it. These domates are stupid, like good. And the guy, the trella that people love, it's like pet rock. They're like, well, what makes these tomatoes good? We play Wagner. We play classical music.
That's insane. I've never heard that.
And Wagner's like that powerful, like with the big crescendos and
So whenever I go to Greece, I come back, I can't have a domata here unless it's like from a farmer's market for 6 months. So they're already amazing. Yeah.
Salads coming at you. But it's a good documentary. You got to watch it because you don't know if they're crazy. You know if they're crazy. It's a great, I saw it at the LA Greek Film Festival. They had it. And I saw this and I thought, interesting concept. But people that were eating the domates from Greece said they never tasted a domata that tasted like a peach. It was so good. It was so good, you know. I mean, that's what. But it's but
you know what would make the tomatoes better, Angelo? What? If Foti sang to them at night.
As I'm drinking my wine.
Foti wants to get the tomatoes off. He think of Bucali Krasi, walk around the field, pouring them on the tomates. But you do. But you see, even Greek, even tomato salad. You take certain tomates, drizzle it with olive oil, a little oregano. I mean,
or the Cretan daco, right? Yes. Have you guys ever had the Cretan daco with the barley and the shredded tomato and Dimitra? Oh my goodness, on the beach.
Oh man,
best.
It's so good. I have had it. I was in Heraklion and Revino when I was in Greece.
Yeah.
And Crete.
In Crete, yeah.
Yeah, those tomates are the best sweet.
They're so good.
I'm gonna say one funny thing, Foti. When we turn when we turn it over to you for questions, this is gonna be good for this is gonna be good info from Dimitra.
Dimitra is gonna be good for this one, and it's gonna be
because you know what we do, Dimitra. What we do is we ask some questions to kind of get to know you a little better as a person and as a Greek.
Okay.
But it's a lot, not all of it, but it's a lot food oriented. So
interesting to get.
I'm ready.
We're gonna listen with our ears perked up.
Yeah, so it's great. So it was good having you, Dimitra, on. I mean, the time flew by really fast. I've never seen all of us.
You have to do a little skit, Angelo. You have to do a little skit with the Cretan music. I want to see that next.
But the Crete are going to shoot me up. You guys have guns in Crete. I've been to Crete weddings.
There's a song I was listening to called Kalogeraki, you know, like a priest.
Yeah.
And he's talking to a girl, Anisuna Klisaki, Kenaimuna Kalogeraki.
Oh, that's deep
there
right there. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So
All right,
Dimitra, I'm assuming you get to visit Greece often,
Yeah.
every year,
Not every year. I hope to go this summer. I went 2 summers ago.
2 summers ago. Okay, and obviously from the comments that you made, your both sides of your family is from Crete,
From Crete, yeah.
both from
I
Hania.
stay on the Chania side.
All right, all right.
Yeah. But I have family in Rethymno too. It's really pretty there.
very
So,
nice.
Hmm.
so you bring a lot of that Cretan influence into what you're doing.
A lot, as much as I can.
Is there a significant Cretan presence in Texas now?
Actually, Texas is very spread out with the Greeks. It's huge, and I guess there are some downtown, but I haven't really met too many Cretans here. As many. I used to go to Omonia to learn like Cretan dance when I was little. There's a significant community of Cretans in New York, but I haven't seen them here.
You know,
Because
Texas is known for being hard as far as one of the United States,
Mhm.
and Cretans are known for being hard. So a
Yeah,
Cretan
they
in
should be here.
Texas is going to cut
Oh,
your eyes
yeah.
out.
it's for a national convention. The Cretans have, I think, the boys, if I'm not mistaken, the Cretan isn't it the one of the largest national organizations for Greek societies in the country?
I think so. I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have one of the the largest presence membership. They have so many chapters. They
Well,
do
it's the
the
biggest island.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Ask the Germans in World War II what happened to them when they tried to take over Crete.
Exactly.
Good luck with that
Statistically,
one there, Hitler.
I think you're right. So statistically, look at what's happening now. 2 out of 4 of us are Cretan.
There you go.
And the other two wish they were Cretan.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Dimitra, this has been great. As far as getting to know you, in person, seeing, getting to see your great work through social media versus getting to
Thank
see
you.
interviews is like game changing. Uh,
Thank
we
you.
would Nick, we need to do the next episode, boys, with a in-person session so we can taste the food and speak of it at that needs to
That
happen.
sounds fun.
The only in-person ones I want to do is with somebody who cooks really well, because
Yeah,
then it's worth
Yeah.
So, as our guests are getting to know you, Dimitra, which, through the questioning and so forth, we have 3 specific questions, or maybe more, depending, of getting to know you a little more through food. Obviously, we're discussing your journey through food, but we always like to ask our guests, as Greeks from around the world, because we share this common interest through food. 3 questions for you, starting with as far as the first question goes, octopodi or fried calamari?
Koktapodi, hands down, grilled
Hands
with
down,
lemon
huh?
and olive oil.
Bravo,
Good.
bravo.
Good.
Gyro souvlaki.
Souvlaki.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
I like
yes.
that.
Souvlaki. With lots of tzatziki. They do yaourti in Greece for some reason.
Yeah.
We're gonna switch it up to beverage now. Ouzo raki, and I know that you're from Crete, so I'm sure this is easy.
I'm gonna say raki because from Crete, Tikudia actually.
Like Sikudia.
Just a real quick fun fact. My mom's maiden name, Tsikudakis.
Oh, really?
Nice.
So you're coming from a family of bootleggers.
I tell everybody my family invented Tsikudia.
There you go.
My dad makes it.
Well,
Awesome.
your dad has to share that, obviously. Your dad has to share that. Last question for you, Dimitra. Frappe or Fredo?
I'm gonna have to say, Liniko, I'm a hot coffee girl.
Yes, me too. I love it too, man.
Boom.
I like my hot
Shut him
coffee.
down. Shut him
Diplometrio.
down. Bravo.
Metrio?
I like a metrio, yeah.
Me
Not too
too.
sweet.
Well, thank you for answering those questions, Dimitra. Now we got to know you a little more through these questions. Great.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
So,
Dimitra.
Dimitra, before we let you go, please share with us any of your handles, your social media, whatever it is. We're going to also include in the show notes, but just so people listening and watching can hear, give us your like Facebook, your Instagram, whatever you want to, whatever you want people to know.
Sure. So all of my written recipes are on my website, dimitrasdishes.com. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and I just started TikTok. So you can find everything on there.
Awesome.
DimitrasDishes.com. Awesome. Thanks for coming on the show, Dimitra.
Thank you guys for having me. I had so much fun.
We appreciate your time. We appreciate you being with us. I want to say to everybody out there watching and listening, thank you so much for joining us. Check our website out. Check our social media out. Make some of these dishes. Get that feel. Get that taste. Get it all. Soak it all in. Thank you, Foti. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, Dimitra, once again.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody out there for watching and listening. We will see you all next time.
Yes.